Hello, everyone. Welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to this webinar on SuccessFactors Employee Master Data Extraction uh, with the intelligent and best practices. Okay. So this is Ali Momin. I am working as an integration lead in talent team. I take care of many cloud and on-premise and third-party integrations in talent team. Okay. So agenda for this webinar is we will understand why employee master data extraction is important with reference to typical system architecture, what customers have, and then what are the various methods for employee master data extraction, and then challenges in data extraction via APIs. Okay. And then moving forward, what are the approaches, what are the solutioning that can help to extract employee master data in best practice way and more optimized way? And what are the options SAP has provided as a pre-packaged integration company? What are the features of a talent team built integration package? And what are the benefits and values out of talent team integration package? Okay. And then we will proceed for question and answer. Okay, let's proceed. So a typical system architecture across many SAP customers. The first half of the architecture, you will see a lot of modules in SuccessFactors, SuccessFactors system. Okay, when the employee joins till the retirement, so the entire journey of employee engagement is taken care of these talent modules, recruiting, onboarding, learning, performance, and succession. Okay, and then there is a core or the major model, which is Employee Central, which takes care of a lot of data for employee and a lot of day-to-day activities. Now, whenever customer enables Employee Central in this system, uh, Employee Central becomes the system of truth. That means any hiring of employee will be done in Employee Central only. Okay, and then the data will travel to different systems, third-party systems, external systems in an organization. Now, with respect to this, many times it happens that you have many SAP products, many non-SAP products as an applications where employee master data is required. Yeah. When it comes to HR world, we mostly deal with payroll and benefits and a lot of biometrics and a lot of different kinds of third-party applications where data for employee being hired or being terminated or being retired is required. Okay. So this is the typical system architecture, and many other systems that might be part of the system architecture in customer scenario. Okay. So based on the experience and based on the requirements, we found that high number of integrations are required in Employee Central module, and then you can think of other models gradually, getting less number of integration requirements. But Employee Central is the highest integration requirement related model. And we have to work always with the best practice and optimized way to extract data from SuccessFactors Employee Central. Okay, because Employee Central being the system of truth, the data first will be created here as an new hire, and then it will transfer to other systems and models. Now, what are the data extraction options in SuccessFactors? Okay. So we have tried to categorize the options in two groups. One is pull mechanism, another is push mechanism. Okay. So push mechanism is mostly like uh, the
Aline,
tools.
can I please interrupt you for a minute? The slides are
Mhm.
not moving through. Can you please check on that?
Um,
We can still see
okay,
the first welcome screen, actually. Welcome slide.
is it? Let me share completely.
Okay.
Is it better now?
Yeah,
Okay.
thank
So
you.
sorry for that. Let me come again. Okay. So we started with the agenda. Then we moved to typical system architecture across customers. The upper part represents the success factors and related modules. And the other components are like third-party applications, products, or even SAP products within the customer system architecture. And then high number of requirements in Employee Central for integrations. And other modules may have a relatively less number of integration requirements. Okay. And coming to various options on data extraction. So push mechanism is a kind of a tool out of the box um, where user itself can try to extract data, okay, or try to push data. Okay? So there are various export tools. There are various reports that can extract data. There is integration center which can be again leveraged to filter or to uh, manage what data is being extracted. And then there is intelligence service center, which is based on the events, the actions that is being performed for employee data. Okay, so it can be promotion, or it can be time off, or it can be so any event that occurs will be triggering intelligence service, and then intelligence service center is a window where we can configure these intelligence services to push data to external system or to do some action through integration center. Okay. So, so this is kind of a push mechanism. But if you ask me, are these push mechanism tools are good enough to achieve the requirements? So simple requirements can be achieved, but when it comes to complexity or the major data extraction, we need to do some extra efforts. Okay. Now, for those extra efforts, we can say uh, it is again a pull mechanism arrangement where success factors have provided APIs that can be grouped into part. One is OData API and other is compound employee API. So OData API follows the REST method or design where the API itself is very flexible. You can select 5 fields from a table uh, for which you want to extract data. You don't need to select all the fields. And even you can navigate to other tables or other entities through the starting entity. So if you're querying on one table and through that table you want to also get data from other entities, you can navigate through more data. Okay. So REST API are mostly light and uh, easy to handle, light in terms of the size and bandwidth utilization, and easy to handle with respect to developers. Okay. When it comes to SOAP-based API, SOAP-based APIs are kind of a static structure. They have a very less um, space or less facility where you can play with the same API. So you have to always call API in the way it is designed. You cannot dynamically handle. Like if I say I want 5 fields from particular table, you are not allowed. Uh, so that's why SOAP APIs are the old way of handling the data extraction or data transfer. And that's why within SuccessFactor, only compound employee API has been allowed so far. all the other APIs in SOAP category in SuccessFactors have been disabled or deprecated because of its nature, because of its old method or old style of being static. Okay. So why compound employee API is allowed so far by customer, by SAP? We will also see that. Okay. So I have a typical example which shows how OData API can be extracted. Okay. So let's say if I am fetching particular table, data from particular table in SuccessFactors. So you can call it as a API entity or you can call it as a table. Okay, so I'm just trying to keep it simple. So basically, we select particular fields from this table. Okay, and then we say, I also need this field from job information. So from job information, the manager of this employee, I need his personal ID. Okay, I need his user ID and then his username. So manager's username and so on. Similarly, I need to know the manager's, I need to know the employee's first name, last name. So basically, these tables are different in SuccessFactors. Okay. Your personal information, which is basically your biographical information in SuccessFactors. So when it comes to technical level, it is this personal info. Okay. So this is the way you try to fetch data for particular field on the main table. And along with that main table, you also try to navigate to other tables in SuccessFactors for the same user. And you try to fetch other fields of those secondary tables. And how you do it, basically you try to expand. You say SuccessFactors, I'm calling your OData API and I want you to expand this table for me. Okay. And I need so and so fields from these tables. Okay. So and so fields from secondary tables. So this is the way we tell SuccessFactors. And how I filter in SuccessFactors, I try to filter it on one table, or I can try to filter on multiple tables. Okay. So for example, if I am fetching some data from here, from the main table which I started, which I queried, okay, which I am trying to trigger the request. So this filter will work on this table saying, give me records modified after last execution, okay, the last runtime, something like that. Similarly, I will also tell SuccessFactors, give me data modified in other table after last execution. And similarly, I will say, give me data from job information for the same employee if it is modified after last execution. So if you see on multiple tables, we are trying to have our operation, our condition. Okay. That means in any of this table, if the user is modified after last execution, then bring me all this data. Okay, bring me all this data. So table 1, 5 fields, table 2, 3 fields, table 3, 6 fields. So whatever fields I requested in select, okay, bring me all these fields from all the tables. If any of this condition matches, okay, that means any of the table, if the modification of employee data is done. So whether personal information was changed or whether job information was changed in terms of promotion or transfer. So there can be n number of combinations, right? N number of tables. So that is how we try to use it in OData. Okay, so OData is a REST format of API, and the design is more dynamic when we try to use. Okay, the design helps us to handle it in a more dynamic way. We can decide what fields we want, on what filters or what conditions we want. This is about OData. Okay, I'm trying to be as layman as possible. I don't want to speak more on technical. So you get you at least get the basic idea around the best practices and different APIs and how and which one to use. Okay. This was about OData API. So I am trying to say which field from which table on what condition. Okay. Now, when it comes to compound employee API, the behavior is very different. Okay. So first of all, compound employee API is a old way of handling the data, but it is still the best way when it comes to complexity. Okay. So if you see, this is the sample here. What I have told here is give me uh, data for this employee. Okay. And if I don't want to search based on employee, I will say, give me employees modified after this date. Okay. After this execution or something like that. Okay. So I can remove this condition. I can uh, keep it more in a dynamic date way. Okay. So the beauty of compound employee API is I don't need to tell which field I want. Okay. I just need to tell which table I want. Okay. It will not allow field-based uh, data extraction. It will allow table-based data extraction. And I just need to tell which table I want. So person information, address information, dependent information, employment, compensation, all this information I can extract. And how data looks is basically, it looks in this way. So basically it starts with person. I will get person information, which is first name, last name. I get address information. I get phone information. I get email information. I get employment information. And within employment, I will get job information. Okay. And with the job, I can get compensation information. Okay. So if you see the behavior of compound employee API, it is acting like a mother of all the tables. Okay. It is trying to bring all the data for a given employee in one go. Okay. So you don't need to deal with which fields you want, on which tables, what conditions you want to apply, and all those complexities you don't have to do. Okay. Now, when it comes to what are the different conditions possible in compound employee API, there are fixed set of conditions like what country or what company or what territory, uh, all those fixed set of around 20 to 30 fixed set of conditions allowed by SuccessFactors in compound employee API, which are good enough to handle any of your requirements. Okay. So now, in this case, I am saying, give me data for company this, territory code this, and for this employee. And that this is how I'm getting the data. Okay. Now, uh, going back to our slide. Okay. So basically, when we say what are the various methods to extract data, so we saw push mechanism, we saw pull mechanism. Pull mechanism is more like somebody externally is trying to access API of SuccessFactors and trying to get the data. Okay. In this whole webinar, we are not talking about how to update data in SuccessFactors. Okay. We are just talking about how to extract data from SuccessFactors, assuming Employee Central is enabled and Employee Central is the system of truth. Okay. So now, moving forward, which API is best and what are the different challenges? Okay, which API is best and what are the different challenges? So we saw differences in OData API and our compound employee API. Compound employee API is more like a static, best option available for complex data requirement. Uh, OData API is quick, dynamic, easy to handle, low in bandwidth for data transfer. But again, it has to be handled in more careful way. Individual table needs to be handled in that way. And there are also possibility that some tables may not be navigational, may not be linked to the table which I'm trying to access data as a starting point. So both of these options, you have to decide based on your requirement. what data you are trying to access. If it's just 2 or 3 tables you're trying to access, then OData API is the best method. But again, if you are accessing more tables and you are not sure in future this requirement will keep increasing, and then it is better to go for component by API. Okay. Now, what are the challenges we see around these APIs, both the APIs? It's a common challenge. So common challenges, if I say how data is being abstracted here, if I say, for example, let me go up here. Okay, so if I say company, so APIs will always give you some code, some IDs of particular data point. Okay, they will never give you labels. Okay, and this is a common practice across many systems, many products. Okay, why? Because IDs are something which is always unique, and it is always better to handle through ID if the data is provided. Similarly, if you see your department is with ID. Okay, so we don't know the label of this particular data. Okay, it is always an ID. This is one challenge. Second is, what if customers say, or if the users say, we need both. We need label and we also need ID. Again, it's a challenge. Okay, and then handling these APIs should be more in from performance perspective also. Okay, so for example, OData API, you get facility of pagination. Pagination is something like you try to pull data in batches or in chunks. Okay, so maybe 200 employees or 200 records at a time. In case of component by API, you get option of batch. Okay, so like this, you can see you can pull data in batch way. Okay, so it has to be handled more in optimized way. And if you see here, I am just trying to give you a typical scenario. Generally, what happens when third-party developers or third-party engineers, they try to access SuccessFactors APIs, and if they are not familiar with SuccessFactors API, or if there is no one to tell them how to get particular data from SuccessFactors, then they might develop a design in their application in a very uh, um, uh, not very good way. Okay? Not in a optimized way. It will uh, in, increase the performance issues. Okay, so typical scenario, like, okay, I start with employment as a OData API. I get data. I get some 12,000 employees. Then what I do is for each employee, I go into job information, and then I fetch for each employee. I give a condition, employee ID this, and then I'm again fetching 12,000 records for this table. So if you see, if there is a lack of best practice knowledge, there could be, a lot of performance issues when the same API is being called in loop. Okay, and a typical worst case scenario we are talking here, uh, and the maximum or common tables that are required. So you can say almost in one transaction or one data extraction request, SuccessFactors APIs were called almost 135,000 times. Okay. This is typical scenario, assuming third-party developer doesn't know how to handle SuccessFactors API. Okay. Now, there are various challenges around the usage of this API, and that is why we should always go to the best practice. Okay. And when we say best practice, it comes to solutioning. It's more like a combination of all the tools or all the features available. Okay. So for example, we talked here about uh, push mechanism related tools and pull mechanism related facilities. Can we utilize all this together and see that a fine product can be built out of it. Okay. And that's why solutioning is very important. And this solutioning is through middleware technology. So systems like SAP Cloud Integration can help to build a best practice solution. Here we are talking about SAP provided standard prepackaged integration contents. Okay. Some of these are specifically for a particular third party. Okay. Some of these are also are provided to customer as a template. Okay. So it is up to customer who can decide which particular template or which particular package suits their requirement. Okay. So for example, if I say, if you are integrating with time vendor Kronos, then this particular package is good. Okay. So you can go for this integration package and you can do the configuration and see how much it matches your requirement, and then you can try to tweak it to achieve the 100% of your requirement. Okay. When it comes to third-party payroll vendor, so there is no name provided here for third party. It's a third-party payroll vendor. That means this can be called as a template. Okay. So this template can be used to again tweak and see how much it matches for your particular third-party payroll vendor. Okay. But the common challenge in using this integration packages, of course, they are by SAP and they have been designed with best practice and optimized way for that particular scenario or third party. Okay. But many of this might have file transfer as a target. Many of this might have some limitations. What we need to do is we need to see that what my third party is providing we have, right? So whether they have inbound API facility, whether they can pick file from the SFTP. If yes, good, then many of these integration packages will help you. What if the third party has inbound API facility? Then again, you have to tweak this integration packages. Okay. Considering all these challenges, what we have to deal here with these integration packages and understand and tweak them. What we develop in Talented is integration package that can give you a combination of all the possibilities, okay, for employee master data extraction. Okay, so basically, if we talk about the scenarios, right? So what is the immediate sync? So let's say as soon as the employee is modified in SuccessFactors, for example, terminated in SuccessFactors, right? We want this data to flow to a third party immediately, right? So that's why it is immediate sync. So what happens? As soon as some event has occurred in SuccessFactors, like termination, intelligence service will inform SAP Cloud Integration package, and SAP Cloud Integration will go to SuccessFactors, fetch relevant data of that employee, okay, and then transform it and then inform third party with the data. Okay, so this is immediate sync. Second scenario is a requested employee sync. So let's say sometimes it happens a particular data in third party is not good for a particular employee, and SuccessFactors admin confirms that okay, whatever was the issue with the data for this employee has been corrected in SuccessFactors. Now, can you try to sync it? Okay, so there is no option for third party to sync only particular employee. Okay, if they try to sync the regular flow, then they might get a lot of other data as well, which was not required at that moment. Okay, they just need to focus on one employee. So this is requested employee sync. So third party will request SAP Cloud Integration, and it will go to SuccessFactor and get all the required data with this combination, OData API and component employee API. And accordingly, it will transfer the data to third party. Also, there are sometimes challenges that, let's say, a third party system was down for a week, okay? Or maybe SAP cloud integration was down for some time, right? Or maybe SuccessFactors, they want to sync some data, let's say 1 week, from last 1 week, okay? So in such cases, there is very less availability of an option where third party can transfer a cutover date. Okay, saying okay, I need data from 1st October 2025. All data of employees modified on and after 1st October 2025. So they can pass these cutover date to CPI or SAP Cloud Integration, and then the respective data extraction will be done, and then it will be transformed and sent to third party. Okay. Auto delta sync. This is more like the control is not with third party. Okay, control is not with third party. The control is totally in SAP Cloud Integration. So what it will do is there will be a timer based execution of integration in SAP Cloud Integration, and it will collect data from SuccessFactors. Let's say once every day, once every 24 hours, it will execute on the schedule time, fetch the employees modified, and then transfer it to third party. Okay. So that's why we call it as auto delta sync, which will use a timer-based approach. Okay. So these are typical scenarios that are possible through one integration package. Okay, it's just what option or what scenarios you are looking or customers are looking, and they can try to enable those scenarios and start using them. Okay. So we will just do a quick demo through a Postman for typical data extraction. Okay. So we are talking about a second case, request an employee sync. Okay. So what I do is I'm telling SAP Cloud Integration Middleware that I'm going to call this service in your system, and I'm going to pass this user ID. Okay. So I'm going to pass this user ID, and I will say, can you provide data for this user ID? Okay. So what system does is it goes to SAP Cloud Integration, and SAP Cloud Integration calls SuccessFactor APIs in combination. First, it will call Compound Employee API, and then it will call OData API to get the labels of particular IDs. Okay, so let's say it can be pick list ID, it can be org unit ID like company or department, something like that, and it will try to combine the labels and IDs and give you the transform data. Okay, so if you see here, here the country is not just USA. It is giving you the label plus the ID. Similarly, here the company is not just this code. It is giving us the company label plus the code. So compared to the data we saw earlier through Compound Employee API, if you see here, it is transferring me just code here in Compound Employee API. But through this integration package, we are also getting label plus code. Okay. Same with Cost Center. Again, with this integration package, you can also try to capture the manager data of this employee. So for example, this is the manager. And then the manager data is coming as a separate structure in the same response. Okay. Many times what happens from performance perspective, developers, they fetch the employee data first, and then they go to SuccessFactor. For that employee, collect all the managers, and then they go to SuccessFactor and again fetch manager data, and then try to collate it and then make out the final data. But in this case, if one manager is having 10 employees, so I don't need to fetch the same manager 10 times. Yeah. So if the employee structure here is giving me 10 employees and the manager is common, so it will just give me one record of that manager here. Okay. So this is all about building an integration in a best practice way, in a optimized way, from performance perspective, from data handling perspective. Okay. Like we saw here, the company giving me label plus ID. Okay. So this was about the scenario where I'm requesting employee ID, particular employee ID. Now we will see what if I want data for employees modified after particular cutover date. Okay, so as a third party, what I will do is I will say, okay, can you give me data for employees modified after 12th August? Okay. So if I execute this, it will bring me all the employees modified after this date. Okay, so how many employees came here? So I can see this is employee 1, this is employee 2, and this is employee 3. So 3 employees, and then there are 3 different managers. Okay. Now, this is the response for cutover date based on third party's interest. Okay. Now, some third parties or some customers say, we don't want you to provide all the information. Okay. We don't want you to provide all the job information, all the salary information. You just provide data that is valid as of today. Okay. So for example, particular employee is working last 15 years in an organization, having different salaries, having different positions. But what is valid as of today or maybe in future, that should be provided as a response. No history data, for example. So even that can be handled here. Yeah, that can be handled here. It's just one tweak in the config in SAP Cloud Integration config parameter. We just need to make it on and off, and accordingly, system will, the logic will make sure that only the valid data as of today and after can be transferred to third party. Okay. So these are all the possible scenarios. If I want to run auto delta sync or maybe timer based sync. So if I want to run auto data sync where a third party will say, okay, I am not passing any user ID. I'm not passing any cutover date. You control the data sync and you tell me what has been modified after last execution. Maybe yesterday, third party triggered auto data sync, right? So after yesterday, within this 24 hours, what has been modified in SuccessFactor, you tell me. Okay, so then third party don't need to provide all these parameters as an input, and the control will be taken care by SAP Cloud Integration to identify dates. So this date, this date is being tracked as a last modified last execution time, and it is stored in global variable of SAP Cloud Integration. And from there, SAP Cloud Integration flow will pick that date and request SuccessFactors give me employees modified after this date. So these are typical scenarios that we saw. What we did just now is calling SAP Cloud Integration flows from Postman. So assume Postman is a third party. Okay, so that's what we did just now. And we tried to execute data. We cannot show demo to you for immediate sync right now. Because for immediate sync, there should be an inbound service of a third party that should be published. Okay, so that cannot be shown now. Okay, So that was about the Talentive integration package. You decide which scenarios you're interested, and accordingly you can enable it. Let's see what are the benefits or the values of this integration package. So no manual intervention. The integration will keep running once scheduled. Okay. More accurate and trustworthy data. So we saw how labels and IDs are being concatenated and transferred and transformed. Okay. Increased productivity. So if there is less manual intervention and proper transform data being provided, no need to verify and keep checking data again and again. Faster decision making. So when the data transfer is good to third party or the required system, the activities or the processes of that third party and the whole organization, they 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 are executed on time. There is no delay. Okay. Reusability and scalability. So let's say today I am integrating this. I have enabled this integration for, let's say, 100 fields out of 10 tables, for example. What if tomorrow I want to add one more table? Uh, um, uh, is it possible? Yes, it is possible. It is quick because the integration has been designed in that way. And uh, and what if particular field is added and that field is type pick list in SuccessFactor? Okay. Then can you handle this? Yes. Even that is very quick to handle through this integration package. It can be quickly modified because the design is so simple. You can easily identify which place you can navigate and which place you can add those fields and relevant pick list name. Okay. Cost effectiveness. This particular point, I will compare it in a way that let's say you want to develop an integration, right? You have third-party developers involved. You have your admin involved. Uh, there could be chances that maybe the best practice knowledge is not coming across, okay, to handle the APIs. And then somebody goes into SAP Cloud integration. Let's say you have an access to SAP Cloud integration. You try to study integration packages. You try to study integration package and you invest a lot of time in that. And after that, you come to know like, okay, no, this integration package is not covering our scenario. Yeah. So then how much time you have invested in those research and what is the outcome basically deals with the cost effectiveness. So this is how we see it. And then error alert mechanism. So if my integration fails due to some reason, maybe connectivity or maybe some data is corrupted data, okay, that has to be fixed on immediate basis, right? Then those kind of details can be messaged to admin as an alert mechanism, which is all included in this integration package. Okay, so these are the benefits or values that can be driven out of this integration package by Talentive. Okay, I was able to share the useful information. Please raise your questions. Please let us know if you have any questions.
Thank you, Alim. I think we have 2 questions on the Q&A box.
Mhm.
Do you want to check that out, please?
Q&A. Okay, my mistake. Let's see. Q&A. Yes. Okay. Is it same as BTP Integration Center? Integration services. Okay. So yeah. So BTP Integration Suite. Okay. BTP Integration Suite is the umbrella, right? Within this, we have SAP Cloud Integration as a middleware. We have SAP API Management Services. We have SAP Open Connector services in BTP. So all these services, they come under SAP Integration Suite as an umbrella. Okay. Integration Center is something in SuccessFactor. It is not in BTP. Yeah. Integration Center is in SuccessFactor. It is out of the box tool from SuccessFactor, which can help the users who have a little knowledge, little technical knowledge, or moderate technical knowledge, and they can just go into Integration Center and see if they can extract some data easily. So Integration Center was provided by SuccessFactor to help admin and key users to see if they can perform their data extraction in the most easiest available Integration Center tool. If it fulfills their need, if that is done, then no need to think about middleware-based integration and developing integrations in middleware. Okay, but like we saw earlier, when it comes to complexity, it is always better to build integration in SAP Cloud Integration middleware and make sure that third-party developers also don't struggle what they are expecting, and also customers they can have a kind of a relief in the sense that their SAP middleware technology, which is SAP Cloud Integration, the old name was CPI. Okay, so this technology is acting as a proxy in middle between your third-party system and your SuccessFactors system. Okay, so third parties can get data only what they need. Okay, that's the basic idea of designing the integrations in SAP Cloud Integration middleware. I hope that is answered. Any other questions?
But before we sign off, I would love to highlight something special for Talent Team. It's the SAP SuccessFactors Learning Symposium, which is happening next month on November 18th and 19th. So this is the biggest global event which is dedicated to SAP SuccessFactors learning community, bringing together, global experts, SAP product leaders, customers, and, a lot of real innovations and real world success stories. So if you're really passionate or looking forward to something on, learning and skills transformation, and I think this is definitely an event that you must attend. The registration link is already in the chat. If you just make sure that you can, check what it is and then make sure that you register. Yeah, I think thanks once again for joining, and we really look forward to seeing you next month at the symposium. Thank you, Alim. Thanks for joining today, and I hope to see you all again soon. Thank you so much for joining.